Welcome back to the Hilton M. Briggs Library Speech 101 Library Instruction. This video will focus on the ProQuest database. By the end of this video, you will be able to use your search strategies to find newspaper, magazine, and journal articles, and you will be able to tell the difference between newspaper, magazine, and journal articles. Information comes in many forms. We are focusing this instruction on periodical articles, that is, newspaper, magazine, and journal articles. But books and government documents are also excellent sources of information. There is an online extra credit session that shows you how to use our catalog to look for books and government documents. There are instructions on getting to this session on the Speech 101 Research Guide mentioned in the introduction. This session is called Finding Books, and we encourage you to watch these videos on your own. Now we will look at articles from periodicals. A periodical is something that is published periodically, like a newspaper that is delivered daily or weekly, a magazine you would find at the grocery store, or a journal a professional association publishes. We have many databases to help you look for such articles. For this section, we will focus on the ProQuest database. ProQuest is a general database, meaning that it covers pretty much every field, but none in great depth. That makes it perfect for this class. As you progress in your major, you may be introduced to more specialized databases. The great thing is that what we teach you in this module applies to most of those other databases as well. We'll continue to use the topic we developed in our search strategy. Getting to ProQuest is quite easy. From the library's homepage at http://www.sdstate.edu/library, click on ProQuest. This results in the basic search screen. We can simply type our search into the box on this screen. Notice that as I type, ProQuest suggests searches that I might mean. I'll just click on Search, and I get 114,465 articles. I need to find ways to limit the number of articles. Let me show you how to adjust your search. There is a box on the top of the screen with suggestions for topics that you might have meant or that might help you focus your search. This box will also give you suggested topics and will do a new search if you click on one of those topics. I will use the topic Alcohol Use and Drunk Driving as it describes my topic really well. I click on it and get 229 results. Better, but not great. ProQuest gives me a number of ways I can further refine my search. On the right side of the screen, there are many areas that I can look at to narrow my search. Two of the most useful are keywords and subject links. By clicking on Subject, I get a list of the most common subject terms in my search. If I click on one of these, it will add it to my search. It will also tell me right away how many records I will get if I click on it. I'll click on Traffic Accidents and Safety to look at those 43 results. Within my search results, I will probably get several types of article. Some searches will allow me to narrow my results to a particular type of article, but others won't. All search results will have a symbol to tell you what type of article it is. For instance, the page with a graduation cap in front of it is a scholarly journal article. If you can't figure out what the symbol represents, put your mouse over the symbol and it will tell you what it is. Before we go on, let's talk about the difference between three of these publication types. Scholarly journals are, indeed, scholarly. They are intended for scholars, researchers, experts in a field, or students. They are usually based on research. There is often data presented in the paper showing you exactly how the author came to his or her conclusions. The author will tell you where he or she got their information in the bibliography at the end of the piece, and there will be citations within the article. There may be pictures, graphs, or charts that illustrate the text. You will also know why the author is qualified to write on a topic. Examples of journals are Chemistry and Biodiversity, Music Analysis, or Sociological Quarterly. Magazines are for entertainment as well as information. They are written for a general audience, and you can pick them up in the grocery store, Walmart, or Barnes & Noble. People are likely to subscribe to them at home. Examples of magazines are Ladies' Home Journal. Here, the journal in the name does not indicate it is a scholarly journal. Car and Driver, Macworld, People, Time, and Newsweek. They rarely have bibliographies letting you know where they got their information. You often don't even know who wrote the article. If the report is on research, it is hard to follow up that research because of a lack of facts about it. Paper versions have a lot of advertising. Newspapers are familiar to most people, but they become harder to identify when you are looking at a database. Newspapers are published more frequently, often daily, and carry less reliable information, mostly news. Newspapers try to cover what is happening now so that the reporters have little time to check all the facts. Often, the facts they want to report on are not even known, and experts may be speculating. If you have ever followed a story in a newspaper over the course of several days or weeks, you will have found that the facts change over time. As people learn more about recent events, what we know changes. Newspaper articles online can be difficult to tell from magazine articles. There is one clue that often indicates an article is from a newspaper: the date. Most newspapers, especially those you find in our databases, are published daily. They will have a full date, not just the month and year, and they will not have a volume and issue number. Newspapers are also frequently associated with a city, while only a few magazines are. The New York Times, for example, is a newspaper, while Time is a magazine. In ProQuest, I will find some articles that are full text, and some that only have a citation and abstract in the database. Those that do not have full text will have a button labeled SFX. You can click on the SFX button to see if we have the full text of the article in another online collection or in print in the library. If the article is full text in ProQuest, there are a couple of types of full text that we might see. Here is an article that has both kinds. The label, full text, looks as if the article was retyped for the database. I recommend using the other type of full text whenever possible. This is a PDF file of the article. It looks just as if it were photocopied from the paper. The advantage of this is that you do not lose any formatting the journal used to make the paper readable. Also, citing is easier because you know what page your material is on if you want to paraphrase or quote. You don't always have a choice of type of full text, but when you do, PDF tends to be better. For each article, I have a number of options for saving it. I can email it to myself, including the full text. PDFs come as an attachment, but the HTML full text comes in the text of the email. I can print it. You get what you see on the screen, so if you don't see the full text of the article, it won't print. I can have ProQuest create a citation for me in APA style, but I will need to check and often correct the citation. I can export the citation to a program called EndNote. There is an extra credit session on this program, and you have access to the program if you are a student at any South Dakota Board of Regents university. I can also save the article and citation to a disk. Next, let's turn to a different type of source and look at the CQ Researcher. See how that can help you with your speeches and papers.